It's here. It's finally here. Nintendo Switch 2 is real. I got one. Here it is right here. Switch 2. Very happy to have one. So, we're going to talk Switch 2. We're going to talk turkey. I'm going to talk everything about Switch 2, my thoughts on it, you know, my experience pre-ordering, getting it day one, games, all that. We're going to talk about everything here. So, pre-ordering the Switch 2. When that Nintendo Direct ended, the only thought in my head was, when is the pre-order date and when can I go get one? And that was the biggest thing on my mind. So the second they revealed it, then they delayed it, then they revealed it again officially, I was on board. I took it seriously. I called off work. I canceled all of my plans because I knew I have to be there in person to pre-order this thing. I'm not going the route in the past of pre-ordering it online because I just know and I've had bad experiences and I knew, okay, they could cancel it. And I went with my gut and I'm happy I did because you see what happened. People's orders were getting canceled left and right online from Best Buy and Walmart and all of them. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with that. If I go to a brick and mortar store, they can't do it. So I suck it in. I went to GameStop and I pre-ordered it. And, you know, thankfully, they had enough. They had a lot. That GameStop in particular, apparently, of the area, had the most in terms of stock that were available for pre-orders. So, I was able to pre-order the Mario Kart bundle, which is like, it hurts because, you know, you've seen my collection. I like going for the physical games. And I had to kind of suck it up and say, you know what? I have to go with this digital one because it's cheaper to get Mario Kart in the bundle than it is to buy it separately with the Switch. So it doesn't make any sense to buy them separate, just get them in the bundle. So I got the bundle and then it just became the waiting time. All right, the pre-order has been secured. I have the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. So now I just need to return in a few months, pay it off, should be good to go. Which felt pretty fast. It seemed like barely like a few weeks passed by and it's like, oh, it's launch day. Today is the day. After years of speculation, years of waiting, the Nintendo Switch 2 is here. Well, it's not here. My Switch 1's still there. But the day where I can pick it up and add it to my collection is here. Now's the time to go pick it up. So I got my stuff all ready. I'm gonna go wait in line. GameStop opens in about 2.5 hours or so. But they're not letting people line up till like the last hour. So I'm gonna kind of hang around the area just so I can wait till 9 o'clock hits and then make my way into the line, so I'm not waiting 4 hours to get my console. So let's go do that. Let's go get the Switch 2. And also I'm deciding too, do I get another game with this? In the back of my head I was like, do I go Bravely Default? But like I'm still playing a lot of RPGs. I don't know. I already got Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm good there. But the other one was like, do I get Cyberpunk? Which I don't know why it's not on here, but like, do I get Cyberpunk? But shoot, Death Stranding 2 drop soon too, so that's my thing. You know, I'll figure it out. Either I'll have a game or I won't. So we'll go from there. So I was like, you know, let me just drive up to the GameStop, and then while I'm in line, I can figure out if I want something. Okay, so I'm finally heading down to go pick up the Switch 2. Pretty like kind of overcasty day out today, which is, you know, it's my favorite kind of weather. So honestly, I'm kind of stoked for that. It's like perfect weather. The console dropped. You know, it sucks because I was looking forward to actually going to the like midnight in quotes thing for the Switch 2, but I pre-ordered my Switch 2 at the GameStop inside a mall, and when they called me to say like, hey, you better come pay this thing off before that day comes, I was like, oh, is everything still good to go for 9 p.m.? They're like, oh, the security doesn't want to keep the mall open, so yeah, we're not doing it. I'm like, the mall closes at 8 o'clock. They're like, no, we ain't working that extra hour. It's like, I understand. Listen, I understand. The mall probably cheap. They probably don't want to give overtime. I understand. But just like, man, everyone's enjoying their Switch 2. They're already on Mario Kart. They're already playing games. And mine's just sitting there
I don't know. We're getting it though. We'll be there soon. We'll be in there.
And in the past, I've always been like, okay, it's a console launch. I'm gonna get there early, so I'm not in line for super long. But I was surprised the line was fairly short. I was the 11th person in line. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna be out soon. So just waiting in line. It's 10 o'clock hits, start taking people into the GameStop. And yeah, I was out in like 12 minutes. So it was super fast. Now, it was a little, it is GameStop. I knew what I was getting into going to GameStop because even then, I got the Switch 2. It's paid off. And they're like, all right, sir, what do you want?
I have goodies. Yeah. What are the goodies you want to do?
Do any games or accessories? I still have Cyberpunk. I still have Split Fiction.
Look at the cavalcade of accessories we have back here. Do you want the camera? Do you want the Pro Controller? Do you want the case? They just kept laundry listing it off. Do you want to game with this? And every time I was like, oh, no, it should be fine. They're like, are you sure? Like, nah, it's not. You saying that, it's not gonna give me more. The only thing I did get was a case, just because it's portable console. I want to have a case for it. I didn't want to carry it around just like this in like some pouch or anything. I want to have at least a case where the game and the consoles can be safe. But I didn't crack on anything else. They were trying. I did get annoyed because that new Pokemon game, the pre-orders went up that morning for them, and the GameStop, both employees at the counter were like, you don't want to pre-order the Pokemon game?
Anything else?
No, that should be it.
Okay, pre-orders. Pokemon?
I'm not today.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Don't go.
They just announced it today. It's
Yeah,
probably
you're
gonna
the
post
first
today
stores
as
they're going to do the reserves for it.
Only
You're
$5
already
down.
here. You know it's going to sell.
I haven't played a Pokemon game since Silver. I'm too far behind. I got kept
But
up.
this one's gonna be completely different from other ones. It's open world and set in Kalos.
I just spent $500 on this console, an extra bit on warranty, and also on the case. Like, nah, I ain't trying to pre-order this game. This game doesn't drop till November. I got time. So I got my free Red Bull. I got my Switch 2. Thankfully they didn't staple it. I was scared. They didn't do it, so it's like, cool.
Okay, Switch 2 has been acquired. Now the scary part, to get back to the car without getting robbed. I have a Red Bull in there, so honestly I'm more scared for the Red Bull than anything else.
I had in the back of my head, am I going to get robbed because they gave me a GameStop bag? People know the Switch 2 is out, and even the store employee said, you should get a bag. You don't want to get robbed out there. Like, even the employee said that, so it's like, fuck, let me get to my car fast. I ain't trying to get robbed for this thing right now.
Here it is. Oh, wait. Okay, now we're good.
I made it home, popped that bad boy out, and unboxed it.
Well, here we are. Nintendo Switch 2. Mild fantasy violence. Legit. I'm not gonna read that. I don't want to mess it up. All right, let's open this up. Let's do the due diligence. Let's open up the Switch for the first time. Plug in AC adapter. Set up. Attach the Switch 2 console to attach it to a press the release button. Okay. And there it is. New Joy-Cons. Okay. You feel good? Definitely way bigger. Like, they feel better in my hands than the original, I'll say. And of course, the Switch itself, the Switch 2, actually it's got some heft to it, I'll say. It does have some heft. Oh, you can see got the blue and red in here too. All right, here we go. Let's get the first. All right, and magnetic, and then release button is first impressions. Just holding it. Screen is great. Like, I haven't turned it on, but just like really big. Definitely a big upgrade. It feels better in my hand. Switch 1, it was like this kind of balancing act of, dang, I have big hands and this thing ain't really working with it, but no, that's cool. Actually, can I boot it up from here? Do I need to actually plug it in like they said? Sweet. Sleek looking console, sleek looking design. I really was taken aback how much bigger it is. Like, I've seen it in the videos, but really comparing it to the Switch 1, you really do see the stark difference. Like, hold on a second. So here's my Switch 1 with the Hori pads. This probably isn't going to be the most fair comparison, but like, just
look at the difference here, like in the screen, in the size of the thing. Like it's a massive difference. And I feel like I have played more portable mode on Switch 2 than I have played portable mode in Switch 1 in a long time. I feel like I kept my Switch in docked mode a good bit of time. And obviously once like bigger games are going to come, I'm going to probably switch it more to docked for Switch 2, but I think the bigger screen helps. The fact that the stand on the Switch 2 isn't flimsy, like this thing is good. I've been able to keep it on my bed while I play, and it plays perfectly fine. So I'll say all the setup stuff with Switch 2 like went really smooth. Like they did a good job on it because I was able to transfer all my stuff from Switch 1 to Switch 2 very fast. Like it only took 10 minutes and my entire console was switched over to here, all the games, so I was already set to go. And I did end up getting just at least one game. I got the Welcome Tour game, which I know everybody was clowning on. People were saying, you buy this game, you are a normie, you're a scab, you're all this and that. But it's just like, it looks cool. I just want to try it out. So I didn't get into all the debates and fights over the $10 for showcasing the Switch's capabilities in Switch 2. But honestly, you know, just to talk about that game a little bit, it's actually pretty good. I actually really like it a lot. It's got a lot more to it than I was initially expecting. It has a lot of depth and just how it goes about things. Because like the way that it's touted is almost like, oh, it's an instruction manual for the Switch 2. But I think that does a disservice to it because obviously you're in the 3D realm of the game. You're on the Switch hardware itself. So like area 1 of the game is the left Joy-Con. So you're like walking through here, you're going up to each of the individual buttons and you're clicking on and it's like, oh, down button. But then you'll go over to like one section here and it'll show you, here's how the motors of the vibration for HD Rumble works. Or here's how we designed the case of the console, or we put these things in it for these like kind of safety protection. So it's a fascinating game if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of how they did the R&D for the console. So I think that stuff alone is cool. But even the tech demos themselves kind of showcasing stuff with the Switch 2, like with how the HD Rumble is, with the mouse, like all that stuff is cool. I will say that this game it's more challenging than I initially expected. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'll do these like challenges and the mini games. I have been getting smoked on some of these. Like I cannot 100% them because you need to be so precise. You need to be so perfect on it that it's just, I don't know if I'm 100% it because there's a certain one that is almost impossible. You have to have both of the Joy-Cons in the mouse position. You have to control 2 UFOs dodging these spikes that are coming down while at the same time collecting stars that are coming. It's like a 2-person mini game, but the game kind of doesn't even like say, oh, get 2 people. One of them they do, and it's like it's almost impossible without a second person. But it's really cool actually. I've played I think about 4 or 5 hours and I've still got a lot left. Like, so I'm content with it. Like for the $10, it was well spent. I know people are clowning on it. Like a gunshot outside. Someone really doesn't want me talking about this game. Someone's trying to come for me. How dare you say something good about Welcome Tour? But no, it's actually good. Like I recommend it. I know it's getting a lot of like hate online for it, but I definitely do recommend it. It's a cool showcase of the Switch 2 and what future games can utilize with the tech. Like for $10 and for like 5-ish hours of stuff, like it's worth the purchase. I'd say it's worth the $10. Give it a try. And you know, talking about just like Switch 2 stuff in general, you know, of course the Nintendo GameCube channel, that's really cool. I don't understand why it wasn't on Switch 1. Like I feel like Switch 1 could have handled it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm happy a GameCube channel exists. I've been playing a lot of F-Zero GX. I've been playing some Wind Waker last night, some Soul Calibur 2. So I was cool with that. I'm happy to have a portable Wind Waker. It's not HD. It still makes me sad, but you know, well, it is what it is. Hopefully Nintendo at some point does Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD as like something, like a Mario All-Stars. That's my only hope. I would love that. Like bundle Ocarina of Time 3DS, bundle Majora's Mask 3D, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD into a pack, sell that. It doesn't negate the NSO versions for the N64 ones, doesn't negate the GameCube version that's on there. It makes the most sense. I swear, I hope that happens. I'm putting it down in this video to mark it down so that when it happens, I can be like, look what I said, I predicted it. So we'll see, Nintendo. If you're watching this, you put me in the special thanks for it. But that's been cool. You know, speaking of Zelda, I've been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. The upgrades on Switch 2, just with performance, that is the console's biggest thing for me, honestly. Just going back to a lot of the older games and just seeing the performance boost, like that stuff is super great. Like I have been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom just because now it's running at 60 frames per second. It feels so smooth. The load times are so much faster. So like now it feels super quick getting into the shrines. Like it used to be so slow, like doing the shrines and like the loading between them, but now it's so fast and just, it's been a whole different game playing it on Switch 2. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. And even going back to other Switch 1 games just to see the performance upgrades inside those. Like that's been really cool. Mario Kart is Mario Kart. It's really good. Mario Kart World is great. The music's on point, the gameplay's on point. Super charming. I really like a lot of the courses this time around, like really good. I think the open world concept and just how they utilize it where you're driving in between the races to the other ones, really cool. Like I like that. Knockout Tour is really fun too. That's like probably my favorite mode in the new one. And it's a fully formed Mario Kart game and does play really good. Like I've been playing it a lot towards nights, just like casually just get on for a little bit and just play. It's a really good game. Like everything that sucks is I feel like the price of the game killed all the momentum because it's a really good Mario Kart game. It's really good. But it's like if you can get it on some kind of sale on Switch 2, that's the Mario Kart bundle, or if you can find a used copy that is somehow going for less than 80, then go that route, because I think it's something that every person on Switch 2 should own. I think it's worth it entirely. You know, in terms of the console itself, like, you know, the battery life is still generally the same as Switch 1. In terms of just the console itself, like a lot of the new revisions on it are all really good. Like I said, the kickstand on the back is great. It's been cool playing in more portable mode. The screen looks great. I think the HDR is a little weak on it, I'd say. Like there was a certain mini game inside of, it was a tech demo inside of Welcome Tour, and you're supposed to show the difference between HDR. And on the Switch 2 itself, it was so slim in the differences that I was like, huh. So it's probably going to be one of those things where when they do the OLED version of Switch 2, where it's like Pro, that's where you're going to get the better HDR. And it's like, it sucks because now I'm like, if they actually did do an OLED version, I probably would buy it. Just because I want to see this thing with like a bigger, brighter screen and with better HDR, because it would be killer with it. I don't really have much negatives to say. Like I think the magnetic way how they take and detach the Joy-Cons feels good, super nice. The new dock and the way it's set up is really good too. Like it's easier to get it out. I haven't really struggled too much with it. All the games look really good. They play good. And I'm stoked on Switch 2. I think this is a good console launch for Nintendo. The price stuff really screwed them over. I don't think that Mario Kart shouldn't have been 80. That just soured the whole conversation. I think the situation with the game cards and how they didn't explain it. Like, honestly, a lot of the biggest things that came to the downfall of the Switch 2 in lead up to it was misinformation and Nintendo just not telling people anything about this and just leaving it in the dark. Because people are still saying Mario Kart is a $90 game. And it's like, it's not. It's 80. But because like one person said it was 90 and online, everything's like is going on that. It is what it is. But the thing that kind of sucks is that Nintendo is going to keep the 80 just because this Mario Kart game is selling really good. So it's going to probably be 80 for the next first party Switch game that comes. So Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to be 80. So I'm just preemptively getting ready to put $80 down on Metroid. It's just like, But you know, that's not the conversation for now. The conversation today was just talk about Switch 2, my thoughts on it, I had a good time with the Switch 2 over the weekend. I'm looking forward to getting back on it again soon. I think it's a great console in the making. I think in the future, like, it'll be interesting to see where the Switch 2 is in a few years. Like, as we see more first parties, we see bigger third party support. Like, I think the Switch 2 could be a real killer for sure. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me here. You know, Switch 2, cool. I like it. Video games, cool. I like them too. You're cool. You know, I like you too. So that's gonna be it for me here. As always, I'm John, GWC, and I'll see you later. I'm about to go switch to this thing. Yeah, I know it's bad. You can boo me off.